Good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Producing and Sourcing cage-free liquid art webinars for farm animal welfare in Southeast Asia. My name is Hang Le, and I'm the Program Director for Farm Animal Welfare, Humane World for Animals in Southeast Asia. And please note that we have the translation to Vietnamese and Thai. So make sure you select the right channel that you want to listen to. Most companies with the cage-free commitment have the deadline of 2025, and the most challenging part of their implementation is sourcing cage-free liquid ash. With that, we organize this webinar with the objective to introduce cage-free liquid ash supplier available in Southeast Asia. The second objective is supporting producers on the transition to cage-free ash. We know it's very challenging. And the second objective is presenting how the liquid ash can help companies to meet their policy deadline. We will have three distinguished speakers from three ad suppliers in Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam will speak at our webinar today. And my colleague also from the global office in the US also share why how Humane World for Animals will help the company in the transition. We will have at the end of the webinar, we will have the Q&A session. So please make sure when you listen to our speaker presenting, you can leave your question in the Q&A chat. And please note that we have a quite different people from different backgrounds to join this webinar. So all the questions related to pricing contracts are not allowed to ask in this webinar. And we would encourage you to read out our speakers to have the separate conversation. And we are very happy to facilitate that conversation. With that, please allow me to introduce the first two distinguished speakers, Mr. Teo Siu Sien, the CEO of DC Farm, and also Mr. Lee Cindy, CEO of DC Farm from Malaysia. DC Farm is the first producer in Malaysia adding cage-free aviary. And the producer has worked in cage-free transition in a couple last year. And now they are ready to offering Humane Farm Animal Care certified cage-free liquid ash. With that, I will hand over to Ms. Lee and Mr. T. Over to you. Can you share your screen? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lee, Han Lee. Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm Teo from TC Farm, Malaysia. Very happy today we can join this very good opportunity quick conference to introduce our company and our product to everyone. Okay, TC Farm is a commercial farm. We're doing this poultry industry in 1984 since until now about 40 years something history. So by now we are enter a new era of the cash-free egg producer, and liquid egg is one of our future product and our main product also in the by now. So hopefully we have a chance to meet some of the consumer or the corporate. We have happy to supply to them and work together to as a animal welfare product to the market. So okay, I will leave my colleague Miss Cindy to have a proper presentation about our TC Farm history and our product. So Cindy is more confident in the market, and she's very well known about our product as well. So please enjoy the presentations.
Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Teo. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Cindy. So today I'll share with you the story of our liquid eggs. So TC Farm is established in 1984 in Banting, Selangor, Malaysia. We have 40 years of poultry farming experience. In 2024, we introduced our cage-free system, which aligns with global welfare animal standards. Our eggs are also certified humane by Humane Farm Animal Care. They are recognized for strict animal welfare, biosecurity, and management standards. So why cage-free matters? Cage-free hens can move freely. They are also able to exhibit their natural behaviors like perching, dust bathing, and nesting. So in Malaysia, 84% of our consumers actually prioritize animal welfare in food choices. So if you can see the picture on your right, there's an image of a hen looking into the camera curiously. So compared to the battery cages, the hens are actually more curious and happy as well. So to share some of our cage-free production, TC Farm uses multi-tiered aviary system. What it means is you can see there's a lot of layers in the picture. It goes up to the ceiling. So this in return gives the hens more space and more comfort to maneuver around. We also have strong biosecurity protocols, customized vaccination, and also advanced ventilation system. Our cage-free production started last year in 2024. We also have pasteurized liquid eggs. They come in 5 kilo packaging, deep freeze packs, and also tub. So the tub is the one on the left where you can see there's a red lid. So we have two options. It comes in frozen and also chilled. The shelf life for frozen is up to 12 months, and for chilled, up to 7 days under refrigeration. So basically, these are designed for busy kitchens and manufacturers who prioritize hygiene, convenience, and sustainability. So some of the market landscape, we do see there's an expanding cage-free infrastructure across Southeast Asia. And in Malaysia, 21 out of 35 major Malaysian hotel groups are committed to sourcing cage-free eggs. So just to touch a little bit about the pricing currently, for our 5 kilo liquid egg tub, we are pricing it at 123 ringgit. That rounds up to about 25 ringgit per kilo. And we do see a growing consumer awareness about sustainability and animal welfare. Currently, we are producing about 30,000 cage-free eggs daily, and that will be increased to 45,000 eggs daily next month. In retail, we are available in Jaya Grocer, Village Grocer, and selected retail stores in Malaysia. So just to share for those that's not from Malaysia, so Jaya Grocer and Village Grocer are the leading premium retail grocers that mainly sells imported goods and also premium local products found in Malaysia. We are also supplying to hotels, restaurants, and cafes across Malaysia, and we're exploring the export markets, Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. So some of the challenges, operational-wise, cage-free requires more space, infrastructure, and a higher labor. So that equals to higher costs overall. And for those farmers that opt for open aviary system that is exposed to the environment, it will cause a slightly more complex biosecurity. So for the market in Malaysia, consumer price sensitivity is still rather high because in Malaysia, we do have a government control pricing for our local eggs. So that limits the adoption. And also, there's still a low awareness about the benefits of cage-free eggs. So some proposed solution can be, we can scale up the operations for cost efficiency or partner up with NGOs like today for consumer educations and campaigns. So stakeholder support are required. From the buyer's perspective, long-term contracts and also purchase agreements would help us greatly with our production planning. Government side, maybe policy support and also some financial incentives would help us greatly. On the NGO side, public education and awareness campaigns. So lastly, whatever we do, whatever business, I firmly believe that we have to work together. collaborative effort together is very much needed for a systematic industry change. Just to share a little bit about our future plans and initiatives, we plan to increase our digital platforms, venture into e-commerce and direct-to-consumer sales, also expand our markets, regional exports, more training programs for our staff, infrastructure upgrade, advancing our aviary systems, and also develop new liquid egg variants, for example, flavored and nutritionally fortified. So key takeaways from my sharing today: TC Farm is committed to humane, sustainable egg production. Genki cage-free liquid eggs align with growing ethical consumer demand. Success really depends on working together as producers, the buyers, the regulators, and the NGO. Our goal is to make cage-free eggs become Malaysia's industry standards. Join us in creating a world where cage-free eggs represents freedom, compassion, and the joy of ethical farming. With your support, together we can make a big impact. Thank you. I think I'll open the floors for questions and discussion and welcoming collaboration to advance the cage-free eggs production in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Lee and Mr. Teo. I still remember the first time that we met in Malaysia in 2023, and at that time, TC Poultry had not started the cage-free egg yet, and now it's just 2 years, and now you already have the shell cage-free eggs, added a couple of pounds on the cage-free egg production, and also offering cage-free liquid egg. That is very impressive. And for the Q&A, we will invite you to join on with our speakers at the end of this webinar. So we will be back with the Mr. Teo and also Miss Lee after that. Before I hand over to the next speaker, I'm not sure if you, all our attendees, are able to select the language they want to listen. I have a very quick slide here. So if you are not familiar how to select that yet, you can go interpretation at the bottom, and then you can click, and there are Thai and Vietnamese there. So just want to make sure that you can listen. With that, our next speaker, I do apologize if I don't pronounce your name correctly, Mr. Sathik Kruantatikan. He's the CEO of Sawan Farms. Sawan Farm is the first company in Thailand to produce cage-free liquid eggs from cage-free at hand, of course, located from about 100 kilometers from Bangkok. Sawan Farm has transitioned more than 30,000 hens to cage-free environments and plans to expand its cage-free operations soon. In one of the statements, Mr. Sathit said that offering cage-free eggs is a long-term investment to adapt the growing demands for animal welfare to their customers. With that, I will hand over to Mr. Sathit. Can you share your screen?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I will share my screen. Can you see now the
Yes,
screen?
I can see you now, but
Okay.
I cannot see your camera. I'm not sure if that happens to everyone, but I cannot see your camera.
So can I start now?
Yeah, you can start now, but your camera is not open.
Really? But you see the slide, right?
Yeah, I see the slide. So yeah, whatever,
Okay.
if you can speak that would be perfect. Okay, thank you.
So good morning, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank to Humane World for Animals for giving us an opportunity to introduce our business to the audience today. I would like to share our journey as an egg producer. Our story began 68 years ago when my grandfather, Mr. Sun Wan, started the egg business. So we are one of the first pioneers in the industry. Our farm is located in Salaburi province, which is about 100 kilometers north of Bangkok. Recently, we decided to downsize our operation and put more focus on the quality and sustainability. But however, we are still an end-to-end egg producers, which means we have everything from upstream to downstream. We have the breeder farm. We do not import the breeder from overseas, but instead we have our own local breed. We call it Thai Bao. We have the hatchery, our own feed mill. We can produce up to 150,000 eggs per day. We have egg collecting and grading station. We have our own delivery fleet. We can deliver our eggs to customer mostly in Bangkok. It's about 5 years ago when the customer starts asking for the availability of the cage-free eggs. So after doing the research, pro and con, we decided to start the operation. And after that, the demand for our cage-free egg have been increasing steadily. So we have to expand our operation year by year. Until today, we can produce around 15,000 cage-free eggs per day. And after 2 years of experience with a lot of support from Humane World for Animals, we can move forward now and we will have 4 more houses converting into the cage-free aviary system, which is more advanced and more better efficiencies. So we will have 40,000 more cage-free eggs by the year 2030. I have a short video to share so you can see what the cage-free egg production look like. Okay. Apart from the cage-free shell eggs, in February we have launched the Thailand first pasteurized cage-free liquid whole eggs. We deliver to some of the Marriott hotel, Accor hotels, and few more hotels in Bangkok. We can deliver for now only in Bangkok and the greater area. The minimum order is just for 5 gallons, but Due to the limited supply of the cage-free eggs, we can only produce around 450 gallons per week, but the capacity will be increased by the end of the year. There's another topic I would like to mention today is the challenge in cage-free egg production and processing. The first challenge is the knowledge and expertise. Raising the cage-free hen is different from the conventional way. So you have to understand the cage-free egg production, and you have to know about the hen natural behavior, welfare, and for processing, you have to understand the food safety. And the production cost for a small egg producer like us, the production cost is very high. So we have to invest carefully in the system, securing the raw material at the lowest cost possible, having a good production plan, as well as controlling the overhead costs. Another challenge is the distribution. To deliver our products to the customer outside our service area is very difficult. So we have to rely on the third-party logistic provider, which is very costly. And the upcoming plans, we plan to expand our cage-free egg production. So by the year 2030, we plan to have 70,000 cage-free hen, which we can produce around 18 million cage-free egg annually. And we plan to produce pasteurized cage-free egg whites, pasteurized cage-free egg yolk, and trying to reduce the carbon footprint of the packaging. So these are my takeaway messages. First and most important, the hen should be raised outside the cage. I think everyone here should be agree with that. So next one is you can see us at examples. Small egg producer can also do a positive impact. And next thing, the demand for cage-free egg increasing gradually but steadily. As I mentioned earlier that we have expanded our operation year by year. The demand is never stop, it's going and going. And next thing is about the price. The price of cage-free egg is higher due to the higher cost of operation, not for the higher profit to the operator. I hope everyone understand that. And last but not least, we are at Simon Farm looking forward to be your reliable cage-free egg supplier. So that is the end of my presentation. So if you have any question, we can do it the Q&A session.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sate, for a very insight presentation. I really like one of your key takeaway messages, and one of that is like small producer can create positive impact too. That I really like, and I hope that today there are a lot of medium and small scale producer also attend our webinar today. I would encourage our attendees to follow your path. We will invite you to the Q&A after the two next speakers. So the next speaker, I would like to invite Mr. Trương Chí Cường. He is the Deputy Director of VFood. VFood is the first producer in Vietnam launching Humane Farm Animal Care Certified cage-free egg of 6,000 hens in 2021. And since then, the company has partnered with their producer network to expand their cage-free egg production. And to optimize the production, VFood now is offering certified cage-free liquid eggs. So let's hear more about VFood story. Anh Cường, floor is yours. You can start your sharing your screen. Anh Cường, you are muted.
Em ơi, rồi cái file bây giờ vậy anh phải thoát ra anh mới mở màn hình lên được đúng không? Khoan chờ anh share cái file.
Or I can help to share your screen if that is more convenient for you.
Please wait a moment.
Ok.
Em ơi, anh bấm vô cái file rồi nó ở đâu? Share. Cho anh cái nha, xin lỗi, sorry.
Take your time. Không có gì anh ơi. Anh cứ mở đi. Anh mở cái bài của anh lên rồi em thấy rồi.
Rồi anh mở rồi nè.
Rồi. Anh vào cái nút display setting như này.
Display nó làm sao cho nó ra một file thôi á. Rồi, được chưa? Thấy
Yes.
chưa? Em ơi thấy chưa?
Dạ rồi ạ.
Rồi được rồi đúng không?
Dạ.
Xin chào anh chị. Tôi tên là Trương Chí Cường, Phó Tổng Giám đốc của công ty cổ phần thực phẩm Vĩnh Thành Đạt VFood. Hôm nay tôi rất vui được có một cái buổi trình bày tại cái hội thảo này. Trước hết tôi rất là cảm ơn chị Hằng HSI Việt Nam đã mời tôi có cái buổi tham dự này, và tôi cũng rất vui được gặp rất nhiều anh chị ở các nước ở trong khu vực. Bài trình bày của tôi hôm nay sẽ nói về những cái tiềm năng về trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo nuôi theo mô hình nhân đạo tại Việt Nam. Trước hết bài của tôi sẽ gồm có các phần về tổng quan, mô hình chăn nuôi, sản phẩm trứng lỏng, thanh trùng nhân đạo và thị trường trứng lỏng ở Việt Nam. Trước hết tôi xin giới thiệu một số đôi nét về công ty VFood tại Việt Nam. Công ty có trụ sở tại Hồ Chí Minh, thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, được thành lập vào năm 2003. Và đối với cái thị trường hiện tại của công ty VFood thì hiện tại VFood đang cung cấp khoảng 2.200 siêu thị và cửa hàng tiện lợi ở khắp cả ba miền Bắc, miền Trung và miền Nam của Việt Nam, với tổng sản lượng trứng bán ra mỗi ngày, tức là cả bao gồm trứng gà thường và trứng gà nhân đạo, là 700.000 đến 1 triệu quả trên một ngày. Sản phẩm của công ty gồm có 3 dòng sản phẩm chính. Sản phẩm đầu tiên đó là sản phẩm trứng tươi, trứng gà tươi, trứng vịt tươi và cả trứng cút tươi. Cái sản phẩm thứ hai đó là sản phẩm của cái trứng gà tươi của cái Khai Free, và VFood là đơn vị đầu tiên của Việt Nam được sự nhờ hỗ trợ của chị Hằng và HSI đã lấy được cái chứng nhận này. Và cái dòng sản phẩm thứ ba đó là cái dòng sản phẩm chế biến, trong đó có các cái sản phẩm đã qua chế biến và cả cái sản phẩm trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo thanh trùng. VFood hiện tại có cái nuôi được về cái gà nuôi theo mô hình nhân đạo, hiện tại thì có 34.000 con tại tỉnh Đồng Nai. Và đây là các hình ảnh chụp thực tế tại trại chăn nuôi gà theo tiêu chuẩn nhân đạo của VFood.
เป็น case free นะฮะ
Hả? Sorry. Alo, em ơi có gì không? Alo.
Dạ không anh Cường ơi.
Rồi.
Anh cứ tiếp tục nha.
Đây
Dạ.
là cái trong nhà xưởng, cái nhà xưởng xử lý trứng sạch của VFood. Trứng gà nuôi theo tiêu chuẩn của nhân đạo của VFood là tại sao mà VFood lại có cái sự chuyển từ cái đầu tư vào cái mô hình chăn nuôi trứng gà nuôi theo tiêu chuẩn nhân đạo. Đó là VFood đã bắt đầu từ năm 2021, bởi vì VFood nhận thấy từ cái nhu cầu của thị trường có cái sự muốn có những cái dòng sản phẩm trứng gà được nuôi theo tiêu chuẩn nhân đạo, và VFood đã có sự đầu tư từ năm 2021 cho tới nay. Và cho tới hiện tại thì VFood cũng rất là tự hào đối với cái sản phẩm trứng gà nuôi theo tiêu chuẩn nhân đạo đang có một cái thị phần và cái kênh phân phối tốt nhất tại Việt Nam. Đây là cái nhà máy xử lý trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng theo trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng, trong đó cả trứng gà thường và trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng nuôi theo tiêu chuẩn nhân đạo. Và cái nhà xưởng này VFood mới được hoàn thành nâng lên vào hồi năm rồi để lấy nhận được cái chứng nhận của FSSC. Với cái công suất là khoảng 5 tấn cho một ca 8 tiếng. Sản phẩm của VFood có cả chứng nhận của ISO 22000, HALA và FSSC. Sản phẩm đây là sản phẩm trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng của VFood, sẽ có cái đóng chai 1 lít hoặc là 5 lít, và hạn sử dụng ở nhiệt độ thường là 21 ngày, 6 tháng đối với nhiệt độ âm ở 15 độ. Sản phẩm này đã được thanh trùng. Về trong những cái thuận lợi thì cái trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng của cái cage free này á, nó có những cái là một cái thị trường thực sự nó còn khá là mới tại Việt Nam. Và tại sao VFood sản xuất thêm cái dòng sản phẩm này? Bởi vì có một số các cái khách hàng ở xa như là ở miền Trung hoặc là ở miền Bắc, các cái khách sạn 5 sao có nhu cầu sử dụng trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo này, thì cái trứng tươi nó khó vận chuyển, nên vì vậy mà VFood mới cho ra sản phẩm này. Khi cái sản phẩm này ở dạng đông lạnh thì cái việc vận chuyển, giao hàng và bảo quản nó sẽ được tốt hơn. Chất lượng đối với sản phẩm của cái trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo thì cái chất lượng nó luôn được đảm bảo, vì cái quy trình sản xuất nó được kiểm soát rất là chặt, từ trại cho đến nhà máy và cho đến tay khách hàng, nó được kiểm soát rất là tốt. Về những khó khăn sản xuất trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo bước đầu cũng có những cái khó khăn, là bởi vì cái việc đầu tư của cái nhà xưởng cho cái dây chuyền đập trứng tự động và cái xử lý để thanh trùng với cái chi phí đầu tư ban đầu là khá là mắc, và chính vì vậy mà làm cho cái giá trứng của cái gà lỏng nhân đạo hiện tại còn cao hơn so với cái trứng thường. Và khách hàng, người tiêu dùng vẫn còn chưa biết nhiều đến. Chỉ có đối với những nhà hàng khách sạn lớn thì họ mới dễ dàng tiếp cận đối với cái nguồn thông tin này. Còn đối với những cái khách hàng nhỏ hơn, như những cái nhà hàng, những cái khách sạn ở nhỏ hơn, thì họ cũng chưa có cái thông tin được rõ về đối với sản phẩm này. Và khách hàng của các nước trong khu vực cũng chưa biết nhiều về cái sản phẩm trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng này của Việt Nam. Về trong cái định hướng phát triển thì khi VFood đầu tư xây dựng cái nhà xưởng mới theo chuẩn FSC, đó là VFood đã có một cái sự chuẩn bị để cho mong muốn định hướng, đó là xuất khẩu cái sản phẩm này ra trong thị trường. Trong thời gian vừa qua thì VFood cũng nhận được có những cái khách hàng, có những cái trao đổi đối với các khách hàng của Singapore và đối với các khách hàng của các nước tiểu vương quốc Ả Rập Thống Nhất UAE. Họ cũng có hỏi tìm hiểu về cái sản phẩm trứng gà lỏng sản phẩm này của Việt Nam. Và đối với hiện tại thì đối với Việt Nam, việc xuất khẩu trứng tươi đi các nước là rất là khó khăn, bởi vì vướng về các cái kiểm dịch. Còn đối với cái sản phẩm, vì vậy mà VFood tập trung vào trong cái sản phẩm qua chế biến, như sản phẩm trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng hoặc là trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo và các sản phẩm trứng chế biến, thì các sản phẩm này khi xuất khẩu nó sẽ dễ dàng hơn. Và mục tiêu của VFood là trong cuối năm nay hoặc vào năm 2026 thì công ty sẽ xuất khẩu được những cái sản phẩm trứng nói chung, bao gồm cả sản phẩm trứng gà lỏng thanh trùng của Việt Nam tới các nước trong khu vực hoặc các nước khác. Xin cảm ơn, và trình bày của tôi đến đây là hết. Và sau cùng thì tôi rất cảm ơn đối với chị Hằng và HSI Việt Nam đã luôn đồng hành đối với công ty VFood ngay từ đầu, từ cái lúc mà thiết kế, tư vấn, xây dựng cái trại nuôi theo mô hình nhân đạo cho tới hôm nay là chúng tôi có một cái dòng sản phẩm mới, sản phẩm trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo. Đó là một cái giúp cho rất nhiều cho chúng tôi để có được một cái quá trình rất là dài, một cái sự đồng hành xuyên suốt để cho cái sự phát triển đối với dòng sản phẩm này của công ty chúng tôi. Chúng tôi xin cảm ơn, và trình bày của tôi xin hết.
Thank you very much for highlight our journey together since 2021. I appreciate the beautiful journey on this airport too. We will meet Mr. Kương again after our last speaker today. Mr. Katie Yap, she the Managing Director of Farm Animal Welfare and Protection, Humane World for Animals. She will present global perspective of how the multinational groups working on cage-free at implementation focus on cage-free liquidate. A bit the background of Katie. Katie is an experienced professional dedicated to improving farm animal welfare. Since entering the animal welfare protection movement in 2005, she has specialized for the past 8 years in collaborating with companies to transition away from caging for hens and crates for sows or mother pigs. Her impactful work has gathered significant media attention in outlets such as the New York Times and CNN. Without other further, I will hand over to you, Katie. Thank you.
Great. Let me just put this in slideshow. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who is here. We so appreciate the work that you're doing. You know, if you're a buyer and you're looking to find more liquid egg that's cage-free, producer interested in getting more involved, Humane World for Animals is here to support you. We really do want to help facilitate so we can make these changes happen faster. And before I get started, I have to tell you all, this advancement of having cage-free liquid egg in Asia is such a big deal, and it has gone so quickly. Last January, so 2024, I had a meeting with our Asia team, and we were just like, how can we support producers to get liquid egg so that big companies can implement their cage-free commitments? And it felt impossible. So really want to just take a moment to thank our wonderful producers in Malaysia, Thailand, and Viet Nam for meeting this need and making these changes happen so quickly. So Humane World for Animals is an animal protection charity that works around the globe in over 50 countries. Humane World for Animals is formerly known as Humane Society International. So we've changed our name and wanted to make sure that people understood that we work with animals. Humane Society International sometimes didn't make sense to people. So we work on many different issues, but Hung and myself work on farm animal welfare and protection. We also have teams that work on wildlife, protecting animals from trophy hunting. We work to support companion animals around the globe. And one of our specialties is also to rescue animals in disasters. And finally, we work on eliminating different animal experiments that are cruel and unnecessary. Our farm animal protection team works in a couple of key ways. We have 2 work streams. So one is improving welfare, which is what we're doing today, and 2 is plant-based solutions. So for the sake of today, we're going to focus on improving welfare, but working on plant-based can also be a way to cut your costs for cage-free eggs if you're buying less of them. And so we have lots of opportunities and resources on that as well if you are interested in that. So our team works holistically in all aspects in order to make progress for farm animals. So we do corporate engagement, working hand in hand with companies to help them make commitments and implement their own policies. Producer engagement, like they were talking about with V-Food. Hung has been supporting V-Food with everything from farm design to helping connect clients since 2021. So for the last 4 years. We also work on financial institution engagement, and that is where we work with banks to get better opportunities for loans for farmers who are working on improving animal welfare. And lastly, we work on policy. So working with the government to make better standards and regulations to help protect farmed animals. Our organization is global, as I mentioned. We operate in over a dozen countries just on farmed animals. So if you look here, you'll see we are in some of the most important regions for implementation of cage-free commitments where it has been notoriously difficult, including Latin America and Asia. So while many of you know, I always like to bring it back to the animals that we're helping and to make it clear what cage-free is and why it is so important. So cage-free housing systems can look different depending on the situation. We have barn systems. These are the most simple systems. They have nest boxes and feeders and drinkers, but they're all one single level. The next is an aviary, like Cindy presented it from TC Poultry. That's where they have the multiple levels. So you get to use the barn, not only the floor for where the hens can be, but also create new levels. And then finally, we have free range, which means that the animals have access to the outdoors. All of these things are considered cage-free. And whichever your company is choosing to look at, or if you're a producer, you're looking into, we are here to help. And all of these standards are a significant improvement over life in a cage for a hen. So our organization supports implementation in a number of different ways. So we can bring buyers together in a region to show demand. We can organize meetings with producers and help connect buyers. For example, our on-the-ground person in Thailand often will take different companies and have them meet a cage-free producer and learn more and see exactly how much better it is and why it's so important. We can also do webinars and trainings to help with procurement staff. And the real strong suit to our work is our on-the-ground people, because there's no substitution for knowing the producers because they know who we are, right? Sending a supplier list can be helpful, but actual connection, us having those connections, can really make all the difference in helping make sure that your company can source cage-free. So cage-free commitments and liquid egg. So the companies that tend to use the most liquid egg are food service companies, hospitality, and packaged good companies, as well as some major restaurant chains. So there's a large amount of companies that are currently looking for cage-free liquid egg. Some of you may be on this call. We hope that you'll reach out to our producers at the end of the call. And so you'll see hospitality, right? If you think of a breakfast bar, oftentimes for all the baked goods, as well as, other foods that they're making, and then packaged goods companies. Again, small ingredients, it is easier to often use a processed egg versus cracking and doing individual shell eggs. So you can see there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of companies that are working towards cage-free that also use large quantities of processed eggs. And people around the world really do care about animal welfare. So there was a study done in 2022 that went to a variety of countries around the world, asking them questions like, it matters to me that chickens producing eggs do not suffer, and I would prefer to buy eggs from hens not kept in cages. And if we look at some of these Asian countries relevant here, over 77% of people in Thailand said it matters to me that chickens producing eggs don't suffer. So it's clear that this is an issue that resonates with many people, and we are so excited that you're here working to help with us right now. So the market trends, liquid egg is becoming bigger and bigger all the time. So I was just tracking liquid egg in the news, and just in Asian agribiz this year, we've seen multiple different articles about liquid egg, whether it's about cage-free liquid egg or conventional. And so this is a product that, while was not very common in Asia before, is becoming more common. So it is important for producers to consider looking into figuring out how to establish processing, because it opens a much bigger market for your cage-free eggs. Now, I mentioned in the beginning how impressive it is, the growth in just the last year on the cage-free liquid egg market. So we now have cage-free liquid eggs available in Japan, China, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Singapore. So there's many options around the globe, and especially in this region, where companies can now find liquid egg that meets cage-free standards. So that is it for me. Thank you again so much for everyone who's here, and I'll give it back to Hung.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Katie, for giving us the overview of the cage-free liquid egg around the globe and also in the region. And also it's good to know how Humane World for Animals can work to support the companies, the producers. I will invite all of our speakers to join me the Q&A. But first, can the technical team bring all of our speakers here so we have a nice chat of all of our speakers. I get the first question I will ask is about the exportation, since a couple of our speakers from Viet Sour Farm or TC Farm also seek the opportunity for exportation to other countries. So perhaps Ms. Lee and Mr. Teo, can you give us some of the update information about the your plan to export to other countries? And then I would like to invite Mr. Sathik and also Mr. Kuhn also give us some kind of update about that too.
I can assist with the question. So just to double confirm, your question is we would like to share about our current status about this export availability, is it?
Yes.
Okay, just to be transparent, I think TC Farm, we're in the midst of getting our MyGap certification. So in between this timeline, we're actually speaking to a few parties. I think currently in discussion, we're looking at Hong Kong and then Singapore, because Singapore requires another level of FSA certification. So yes, that's our current status. So that's the next step that we're working on.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. And Mr. Sathik, you want to add more information about that?
Actually, we have a few inquiries from overseas about the liquid eggs, but our plan is to fulfill the demand for our local customer first. And as you know that the cage-free egg availability in Thailand is still very low, so it might take time before we can export to other countries.
Yeah, that is a good information to know. Uncle, are you there? If you are not there yet, you may answer the question later. And I see a couple of questions from are you there? Yeah, can you? Thank you.
Không, em đang có ở đây.
Yeah, so my question is regarding the export opportunities that VFood is working with some of other countries for the cage-free liquid egg.
Đối với hiện tại á, tức là trong trong cái thời gian vừa qua, thì từ khi bắt tay vào cái sản phẩm, cái dự án này, thì VFood cũng có nhận được những cái khách hàng, những cái lời hỏi của khách hàng cụ thể ở hai cái thị trường của Singapore và cái thị trường của các cái tiểu vương quốc Ả Rập. Về cái sản phẩm trứng lỏng, do đó mà VFood mới trong cái đứng trước cái nhu cầu như vậy, thì trong quá trình mà xây dựng nhà xưởng thì VFood xây dựng cái nhà xưởng theo cái chuẩn FSC luôn, bởi vì khi muốn xuất khẩu thì phải có cho các cái nước này, đầu tiên nhất cái nhà xưởng phải có cái tiêu chuẩn FSC. Và theo tôi thì cho rằng đối với thị trường của Việt Nam á, cái thị trường của cái trứng lỏng nhân đạo này, của trứng lỏng của cái gà nhân đạo này tôi nghĩ là sẽ còn có những cái tăng trưởng nữa, là bởi vì rõ ràng trong đối với cái trứng gà tươi nhân đạo trong mấy năm gần đây thì cái tăng trưởng là có, ví dụ giống như cái công ty VFood trong vòng khoảng hơn 3 năm thôi mà ban đầu chỉ có 6.000 con gà thôi, hôm nay lên cái sản lượng cũng là khá là cao rồi. Và cái thị trường trứng lỏng thì dễ vận chuyển, như tôi đã có nói là dễ vận chuyển, thì có nhiều khách hàng ở nơi xa khỏi Sài Gòn hiện tại chúng tôi cũng chưa có giao được, đó là như vậy. Và đó là cái sản phẩm trứng lỏng này sẽ là một cái để chúng tôi được có nhiều khách hàng ở xa hơn, ngay cả tôi chỉ nói trước tiên ở trong cái thị trường nội địa. Và khi có chuẩn bị như vậy thì công ty cũng đang cố gắng để mà hướng tới cái thị trường xuất khẩu. Bởi vì theo tôi thì cái trứng lỏng, cái trứng gà nhân đạo tại thị trường của Việt Nam nó cũng vẫn có những cái ưu thế, là bởi vì cái đất để nuôi theo cái mô hình này đòi hỏi diện tích rộng á, thì đất của Việt Nam cũng còn khá là rộng, tương đối là cái giá về thuê đất hay mua đất để xây dựng các cái trang trại thì nó cũng còn tốt. Thứ hai đó là về cái chi phí, cái nuôi theo mô hình này còn cái chi phí nó nhiều hơn so với cái trứng gà công nghiệp, thì cái chi phí về chăm sóc, về cái chăn nuôi của Việt Nam cũng còn khá là tốt. Đó là tôi nghĩ đó là một trong những cái lợi thế cạnh tranh. Và VFood muốn tập trung vào trong cái xuất khẩu cả cái sản phẩm về cái trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo này và cái trứng chế biến nữa. Đó là bởi vì cái trứng chế biến của VFood như là cái trứng ăn liền cũng là một trong những cái lợi thế. Và hiện tại thì VFood cũng đã đi rất là gần để xuất khẩu cái trứng cút ăn liền, cái trứng cút chế biến qua thị trường của Nhật Bản. Thì khi mà trong cái quá trình đó thì công ty mới có thêm kinh nghiệm và để cho cái việc xin cái xuất khẩu, bởi vì cái xuất khẩu đối với trứng nó rất là khó, thì cả phải làm thủ tục xin đối với cái chính phủ của Việt Nam và đối với cái hồ sơ nhập khẩu của đối với cái nước nhập khẩu nữa, tôi xin hết. Alo, Hằng có nghe không?
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for all the answers. And I see today we have attendees from the Food Corporation, not only in Vietnam, in Thailand, or in Malaysia, and that's seeking the cage-free liquid acid and also processed acid too. So I would encourage the attendees reach out to our speaker today to have further information about that. The next question is quite interesting to me because that is kind of the question that I always receive when I talk with the individual consumers or the buyers. So I will ask all the speakers, if you have the thoughts, you can jump in and comment. So what the strategies can implemented to achieve a win-win outcome for consumers, producer, and the environment in promoting cage-free acid? Yeah, you can go first.
I can just jump in
Yeah.
to answer this question. Sorry, Hank, can I add on to the liquid egg export side? Because I think I made a mistake. I was referring to the table eggs. So for TC Farm, we do not have our manufacturing plant itself. We are collaborating with a company that has a halal, mesti, FSC 2020 and all the required certifications. So we can actually start having conversation about exporting liquid eggs as well. Okay, so back to the questions, and just to confirm, what strategies can we propose that's win-win for the consumer, the producers, and also the
The
environment, is it?
environment. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think just to share my personal belief system, whatever business we do, I think I always share with my colleagues, we'll always have to stand in the consumer's perspective first, because if the consumers do not have any take-up rate, I think the purchase of the product cycle will never be complete, because we need the end users to support us, right? So maybe some of the win for the consumers is we can share why is cage-free eggs better? For example, we can say that it's a healthier and happier choice. The hens are actually very less stressed compared to the battery cages, because when I go visit battery cages, the hens are mostly fearful. Also better animal welfare. I always share with my customers, we live in a very fortunate world right now, because as we progress as a society, we have the luxury to actually care about how our food come from, right? So happier hens equals to happier, better eggs, and also transparent labels. I think the consumers might not fully understand what does the certifications that we put in a lot of effort as a producers mean. So that might actually be a win for them. So when it comes to the producers, I think transitioning into cage-free system can be quite a lot for us. So if there's some fundings or subsidies that might help us to kickstart the project more. Also the knowledge, the producing part, maybe if Mr. Teoh, you have anything to add on, just let me know, okay? So for the producer's perspective, because it's very, very different in how do you take care of the hens. So if we are able to get more trainings to teach us how to manage our cage-free flocks more efficiently, because if we are able to do it efficiently, then maybe the costing, we're able to bring it down slightly more. Okay, one thing I really liked, one of the speakers, they actually did share, our pricing is actually higher due to the operational cost. It's not for higher profit. So from our perspective, it's a fair pricing. So we hope that, the farmers can have enough of margin in order for us to keep moving forward sustainability. So lastly, environment is very important as well. Because the cage-free system, we would say it's fully IoT enabled. I believe that we are able to use water and feed more efficiently based on what is required. Maybe an idea will be we can use our waste slightly better as well. We can turn it into fertilizer or maybe energy. Those are some of the things that we're looking at right now. So there's a term in Malaysia. We call it #SupportLocal. So what it means is we as a consumer, we would support more local products. So that actually in return cuts down some of the transportation pollution as well. So I think that is my perspective. But most importantly, as a producer, I think we took a first step already. We would hope to get more support from the consumers and also the businesses to create a positive impact. Yeah, that's the keyword I copied from one of the speakers as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy, for very great answers. And I appreciate your both personal thoughts and also the business talk too. Katie, I see your hand raised up. You want to comment?
Yeah, I just want to add, when it comes to finding a way to make cage-free work for everybody, something a lot of businesses aren't familiar with doing or they don't do very often is long-term contracts. And these contracts are very important for the producers, especially when it comes to processed egg or liquid egg, because they have to find either a plant that will give 1 day a week for cage-free or build their own, which can take significant investment, and they need minimum order quantities to start processing the eggs. So the more time you can give them, that helps them make those investments so that they can feel secure. I know many hospitality companies and others are used to working on, just doing a request for, different prices from various producers once a quarter and keeping going, but that isn't going to be enough when it comes to supporting cage-free. We need companies to change their practices so that they can give long-term contracts, so these wonderful, brave leaders in the sector can actually, feel confident to grow and invest in making sure they can have liquid and other types of egg available for you.
Thank you, Katie. Mr. Sadek and Mr. Kung, Mr. Teo, if you want to add more comments, let me know. Otherwise, I can move to the next question. Yeah, Mr. Teo, go ahead first.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for sorry the Katie to bring up this our how to say our hard words, because it's a farmer. I'm using like commercial growing system for a decade, so it's the way we really used to manage the chicken, and it's easier for the farmer to run the farm. So by changing to the cash-free system, this is one of our big challenges. From beginning, we are not like no idea how to how's the market, how's the technical challenges will be meet. So it's very hard to make a decision to shift from a normal commercial farm, cash farm system to a cash-free system. This is a very big challenge for our farmer. So we need big support from industry, for the food industry, or maybe the details. Who is willing to change their business to more supporting in the animal welfare. So this can make this industry to move forward faster, to change from the cage system to cage-free system. It's more like speed up the changing. It's very need from the big support, or from the corporate, or maybe from the industry.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Teo, for the great message to deliver to our attendees today. Uncle, I saw your hand raised. Do you want to add comments or?
Tôi xin chia sẻ thêm một cái ý về đối với trứng gà lỏng này. Nó có một cái lợi thế rất là vượt trội, đặc biệt ở cái là khi chúng tôi là cái người bán cái sản phẩm trứng tươi đối với các siêu thị, thì cái việc mua là hoàn toàn phụ thuộc vào khách hàng. Do đó đôi khi có những khi là cái trứng tươi này nó sẽ bị dư ra. Và đối với khi đưa qua cái sản phẩm trứng lỏng thanh trùng nhân đạo này, thì do cái hạn sử dụng nó dài hơn, và đó cũng là một trong những cái cách mà trong ngắn hạn chúng tôi đưa vào trong cái xử lý liền và cái hạn sử dụng dài, để giúp cho nó cân bằng lại. Chứ còn nếu như hồi trước đây, nếu như không có cái này, thì khi mà nó bị dư ra đó là sẽ phải đem bán thành trứng gà thường. Thì đó là tôi nghĩ đó là một trong những cái lợi ích mà của cái trứng gà lỏng nhân đạo này. Khi mình có một cái sản phẩm mới này, nó cũng là rất là tốt. Tôi xin hết ạ. Anh xong rồi ạ.
That is a very good, yeah, that is very good message, Uncle. Yeah, that is one of the benefits. That's why more and more producers join the cage-free liquid us. And I want, yeah, Mr. Sadek.
Thank you. I think it is very important to educate the consumers, and they know what the animal welfare is and how the bird live in the cage compared to the cage-free system. Last year we have chance to invite a few customers to visit our farm, and then after the visitation, they get better understanding, and then they have the new mindset, and they are willing to pay more for better welfare to the hens. Something like that is very helpful.
Yes, I like the idea of educating the consumers, like it not only individual consumer, but also the business, right? And offering them a farm visit is the best way to educate what are the difference between cage and the cage-free. So the next question, I would like to ask a little bit about the biosecurity at farm level, because I see a couple of questions here. Do you see any difference between the biosecurity in the cage-free farm and in the cage farm? That is a quite big concern in the poultry industry. Perhaps Mr. Thieu or Mr. Sathit, you can jump in on that.
I don't see any difference because the cage-free hen live inside the house, which protect the microbiome germ from outside to get into the house. So I don't think it is worse than the cage system. So I think it's the same.
Yep. How about you, Mr. Thieu?
Okay, for my opinions, okay, the cage-free eggs, chicken is more close contact to our worker. So I always ask my worker to control their movement, which is who is staying in the cages, the barn, who is the person in charge will be staying in the barn. Is not allowed to move on because it's more safety for the chicken to get contact about maybe the viruses or the bacteria, and this is we are more concerned about it because the chicken is very close to human when we move inside the barn, so it's very important for the movement, human movement. And we also try to improve our chicken health to control, to make sure their chicken is not getting sick. So we always control the visitor control. So this is who is try to enter our farm. Maybe we need to have a registration and to ask them to follow some regulation before they enter the farm. And the workers we ask them to have a more hygiene lifestyle, like often to wash their hand and frequent shoe dipping to clean make sure they are enter the farm in the clean status. And the pest control, we also doing the pest control to try to reduce the mouse and the wild birds, to make sure our farm is not get affected by wild diseases. This is why how we treat to improve our farm hygiene.
Yeah, it's kind of like how we approach to the whole farm, right? From the animal health management, worker training, and all of that go together. Okay, so the next question is quite linked to at the farm level too. One question is about about humane certified humane certification. I know the VFood and Mr. TC Farm achieved the certification from Humane Farm Animal Care. Can you share a little bit about that certification, how it look like, how the process look like, and how Humane World for Animals support you during that process?
Okay, the Humane certified body is I think is very good for our farmer to show that we are using their standard to manage our farm in the proper way. For the customer, easier to understand that we are one of the standard farm inside their certified humane regulation. So what we are produce is everything is under their regulations. The safety to eat the eggs, and it's all always about the regulation about the animal welfare we are achieving, and somehow the certificate of Humane is teaching us how to manage in a proper way to manage the chicken by more focusing on worker training and the practice and daily practice and the handling of our record. Somehow it's about the sick bird, how to handle the sick bird in the proper way. I think the humane certified humane is very good from farmer, and for the consumer is for them to know that which is farm is doing is the proper way to show them is in the market which is farm is like more clear in their practice.
Thank you, Mr. Teo, for the very clear sharing. And I would encourage attendees reach out to my emails so we can have a one-on-one session and to learn more how Humane World can support you in this journey. And of course, we can connect you with the representative of Certified Humane, and they have the local inspector in Thailand, in Malaysia, Vietnam, and Indonesia. And I think even in the Philippines, and they definitely can have a conversation with you about that too. The next question I would like to ask Katie. It seems the liquid eggs are more common in the Western country compared to Southeast Asia country, at least my country, Vietnam. So based on your experience working with the food business, would you give the companies any recommendation to those companies that are seeking cage-free liquid egg in Southeast Asia?
Yeah, you're definitely correct that cage-free liquid egg or any liquid egg is more available in a lot of Western countries, because historically, many of the countries in Southeast Asia just cracked the eggs themselves, right? And then we have these large global multinationals coming in with, trying to meet their recipe requirements, having large scale like Bimbo or Mondelez, where that doesn't work quite as well. And the one thing I would say to a company is that you need to be flexible, because otherwise this isn't going to work, because this is such a new industry. As I mentioned before, in January of 2024, none of these producers had liquid egg that are on this call today. And that's, a year and a half ago. So we really want to support the producers that are going cage-free and that are willing to invest in the processing equipment and making sure that they can offer liquid or any processed eggs. So the most important thing is to ask your producer what they need. But then additionally, that flexibility also can come right back to your business. So while you may be used to using liquid egg, maybe, in order to meet a cage-free commitment, you have to crack the eggs yourself, right? These are the types of things that we have to do in order to meet our goals. We actually worked with a pasta manufacturer in Thailand who, before liquid egg was available, started using shell eggs instead because they wanted to convert to be completely cage-free. So while it may be challenging, might require some recipe development, it is completely possible to make your supply chain cage-free, whether you can get the liquid egg or not. So really encourage companies to be flexible, talk to their producers, whether their producers are cage-free already or are not. We can support them and provide technical support. And this is an area where, because the market is so new, we need to be creative and flexible.
Thank you, Katie, for a very key message regarding that we want to share with the food business today. There are a couple of questions from the attendees. And the first question I would like to ask Did it just based your knowledge? So for our 3-hour producers in Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam, can you estimate the percentage of cage-free egg production in your country compared to egg production? I know it's not a big number, but I see it growing years by years. Sorry, who do you? Okay, Mr. Sadik.
Okay, so it is quite a difficult question because I don't know about the other producer, but my guesstimate is very low in Thailand, probably less than 5%.
Yeah, I think it's growing. Like I first joined the cage-free event in Bangkok before the COVID, and at that time there was no much cage-free in the supermarket. And now, if you go to supermarket in Bangkok or in other area like Chiang Mai, you can see the cage-free available. That is the significant growth in Thailand. And how about you, Mr. Teo and Miss Lee? In Malaysia, I see you are in Malaysia is quite impressive in recent year too. I know it's a low number, but you don't have to. Okay.
In Malaysia, I think now is about below 1% of the compared to the cage egg by now. But I can see that with a big player is coming in maybe end of this year or maybe next year, Malaysia will be increasing some of the number of the cage-free egg in the market. I think so.
Thank you, Mr. Teo. And Uncle, I see since you started the first cage-free farm in 2021, and now a couple large egg producer in the country like Dabaco, Bao, Amibas, they also enter the cage-free egg production. I know it's not the big percentage compared to the egg production yet, but can you give it like a rough number?
Đối với hiện tại thì cái tỷ lệ của VFood là nó khoảng gần 4% so với trứng thường. Và tại vì là mặc dù là các cái trang trại của Việt Nam là tăng lên rất là nhanh, hiện tới bây giờ Việt Nam các cái trang trại có chứng nhận. Tôi nhớ lần trước là cái của chị Hằng, theo thông tin của chị Hằng đã lên 20 mấy cái trang trại. Mới cách đây mấy năm thôi thì chỉ có một mình VFood có thôi. Tại sao mà và tôi nghĩ cái tỷ lệ này sẽ nó còn tăng nữa là bởi vì đúng ra theo những cái cam kết của các công ty bánh kẹo tại Việt Nam như Mondelez thì họ sẽ tăng cái tỷ lệ sử dụng trứng gà nhân tạo cao lên nữa, nhưng mà cái lộ trình của họ có cái sự chậm lại. Họ không có đi theo đúng cái lộ trình đó, nhưng mà đối với của VFood thì VFood có một cái lợi thế là bởi vì VFood có một cái hệ thống phân phối của tất cả tới cái trực tiếp tới tay người tiêu dùng qua các cái hệ thống siêu thị, nên cái tỷ lệ và hiện tại là trên cái kệ của siêu thị tại Việt Nam thì đối với cái trứng gà nuôi theo tiêu chuẩn nhân đạo cũng đa phần VFood chiếm một cái tỷ trọng rất là cao đối với các cái bán trên hệ thống siêu thị, thì VFood tôi nghĩ chắc chiếm tới gần 90%. Khi đối với cái trứng gà cage free bán tại trên hệ thống của siêu thị, thì do đó là VFood nhờ có cái hệ thống phân phối như vậy mà nên cái tỷ trọng của cái VFood tăng khá là nhanh. Trong vòng mấy năm hồi trước mới bắt đầu thì chỉ có khoảng 1% thôi, thì bây giờ nó đã gần đạt đến 4%. Trong khi đó là các công ty bánh kẹo lớn họ chưa chuyển đổi hết á, nhưng Mondelez họ chưa chuyển đổi hết sang sử dụng trứng cage free. Nếu như họ chuyển đổi thì cái tỷ lệ này còn cao nữa. Tôi xin hết.
Thank you, Uncle. And I believe when I started to work, just 1% of the VFood is from the cage-free eggs now, and you are increasing 3%. That is a big number. Even your quite a large amount of eggs are sold to the market every day. So we do not have much time, and there's one question. It's quite tough question at the farm level. So I would encourage 3 hours producer speaker here answer this question, but it's quite very interesting. In terms of the biosecurity, producer in the area we work are very high humidity, like in Vietnam, right? In Thailand, I will see the same. So, and some people eat raw eggs. So there are the reason why producers do not want to switch to the cage-free and have you touch with their manure and also burden. And how do you think in the cage-free farms, how we respond to that issues? I hope the question is clear. I'm trying to paraphrase a bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
send you
I
in the
try
chat
to
too.
answer their question, the audience question. Okay, regarding the moisture issue, yeah, this we in Asian, I think Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia have a similar problem also. With the normal cage system, we do have like good ventilation system, and the manual will be removed by using the manual belt and make the manual the environment of the barn is more like clean and less ammonia. Is more easier to handle. But in the cage-free environment is totally different. The chicken will be not dropping. Their dropping is on the manual belt. Is will be on the floor, and the contact on the ground, and the later will be moisture. So this really need a strong ventilation system to make the environment more like dry or put in quality of air. This is very important to use the technology to make the environment suitable for the animal, for the hens. I think this is can manage by using technology, but it's very that's why the cage-free system is very costly, because we need such of technology, all the IoT system, the computer system, and the ventilation system to control the environment. But the number of the chicken inside the barn is lesser compared to the cage, normal cage system. This why make the cage-free system very costly. Okay, and do I answer maybe
Yeah, the second part of the question is if the animals contact with the bedding materials and also manure, and they eat, the people eat the raw eggs. So how can you control with that issues?
Okay, this is very how to say, very important about the environment control. That's why we control the movement of the worker, try to not move in some foreign material to inside the barn. So everything inside the barn is belonging to the chicken. So the manure also come from the chicken, but as long as the chicken is healthy and the litter material is dry, so it's no harm to the chicken. Okay.
You want to join? Yes, please.
Yes, I would like to share from a layman consumer perspective. I think first question, because yes, Mr. Teo is very technical and that's great about him. I think what can I share from a layman perspective is what I see in the system that we're using. There's a separation between the manure and also the hens. So there's a netting on top, and then when I know they do their business, the manure will actually fall to a conveyor belt at the bottom, and then the conveyor belt is an automated belt where it will be collected. So there's a separation between that. In terms of some manure might end up on the floor, yes, that might happen as well. But one key thing that it's the little things that count, right? That I noticed about TC Farm is So there are actually hen houses where you go in and lay eggs, right? So there are some minority hens that lay the eggs on the floor. So for TC Farm itself, those eggs we do not sell as our cage-free eggs. It will just be disposed as we will call it the rejected eggs. So secondly is for the layered aviary that we're using, you can see that there's a special box that gives the hen space to lay eggs inside. So when they lay the eggs, it actually falls into another conveyor belt, and then the conveyor belt will be automated pulling to the collection area. So there's actually no contact with the manure lah. So that is my layman perspective. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. It's good that you also like provide the imagine of how the cage-free farm look like. So people, I believe people here are very curious to see the cage-free farms. Mr. Sathit and Cường, do you want to add comments or thoughts on that? Otherwise, I can move to the next questions.
Yes, I'm totally agree with Mr. Tew that as long as the hen is healthy, that is not an issue. We have tested every batch of making the liquid egg. We test the salmonella from the raw material. We never found one, so it's not the issue, at least at my farm.
Thank you for clarification. If not, I see a couple of questions, but we don't have a time. So I would like to thank you for all our speakers today for your time, your sharing, and also your experience and dedication to improving the animal welfare for hens in Southeast Asia. I appreciate that. And I will invite you on to have just the final key message that you can deliver to our attendees today. Cindy, Katie, you want to go first? Just a final thought, very quick thought.
So my final thing is, first of all, thank you to everyone who is interested in this topic and working towards this topic. But I want to remind you that this is not business as usual. As our farmers talked about, the cage-free industry represents less than 5% in most countries in Southeast Asia. So that means that companies need to be flexible. They need to change their plans. They need to change their recipes. They need to do different types of purchasing contracts because in order to meet commitments and get hens out of cages, producers like the ones that you're hearing from today need you to be creative and flexible.
Thank you, Katie. Cindy, you want to go next? You are very close to Cindy on my screen.
Okay, sure. I think to end this conversation today, thank you everyone for listening and also the interest. And I agree with Katie. I'm very fortunate to see how far the cage-free has come. And I just feel very lucky that I'm part of this project and I'm able to advocate for better animal welfare for the eggs industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Mr. Sathit, you are next.
I would like to thank to the Humane World for Animal for trying to create like a good ecosystem for the producers, consumer, and users. So we have to go all together to make the cage-free business success.
Thank you, Mr. Sathit. Anh Cường, how are you?
Tôi xin cảm ơn cái buổi hội thảo rất thú vị đối với tôi và tôi cũng rất là mong muốn VFood đã là một cái người tiên phong ngay trong cái thời gian đầu và VFood cũng sẽ cố gắng để cho cái sản phẩm của cái trứng gà không đồng trù này ngày càng phát triển tại Việt Nam. Xin hết.
Okay, thank you so much. And how are you, Mr. Tew?
Okay, very thankful, Hang and Katie, and for the today have a wonderful time to sharing our cash-free journal. So I hopefully everyone will be together and create a better world, not even for human, but also for the animal.
Thank you, Mr. Teo. And my final message is collaboration. I agree with the message that Mr. Seth has said, like collaboration is very important. My producer work with the food business, government, and also individual consumer to promote more cage-free as in Southeast Asia. With that, thank you again for all our speakers today and apart. Thank you our attendees for your listening, and thank you our translator for delivering the message so well. And the final thought that I want to thank you, my team in Southeast Asia, for your dedication and support to make this webinar happen. There's some question we have not don't have time to answer yet. We will send the answer later. And also, I would encourage our attendees to reach out to us and also reach out to our speaker today to have more further information. And if you would like to work more on cage-free, with that, I will end the webinar here and looking forward to see you in our upcoming event. Thank you and bye-bye.